But at this point, I want to talk about Grow a Row. I mean, what is Grow a Row? Quite simply, it's a program where we provide fresh produce to those in need. Our volunteers help us plant, maintain, harvest, and then donate produce to food banks, food pantries, soup kitchens, any hunger relief organization that's in need throughout the state of New Jersey. But we're not just about feeding those in need. We're about feeding those in need with healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables, foods that can help potentially minimize the health risks, such as diabetes and cancer and obesity and hypertension, diseases there's a correlation to perhaps diets. And when I think about the city of Camden, a city in which we've done a lot of work over the last year or so, a startling statistic where 1% of the entire population represents almost a third of the total healthcare costs within that city. Many of those health issues are, as what I stated before. And the reality is, if we can get more nutritious foods into the hands of those folks who are struggling and who desperately need it, we believe that we can improve the overall well-being of those folks and clearly be able to bring down some of the healthcare costs as well. But a Grow a Row isn't just about feeding those in need. It's also about educating all generations about hunger and giving them the ability to do something about it. Now, Lena is, of course, our great director of educational programming, and she's put together some wonderful programs, many different modules, by the way. But one that I always kind of sticks with me is where she takes the kids through each county within the state of New Jersey. And then she looks at the income within each county, and then what the health risks are associated within each county. And the kids get it. They see the correlation that income can play a major role in your health, in health issues. And then from there, we open up the doors and we give the kids something to do about it. We give them the ability to go out and plant or harvest. It was just last week that we had 60 youth that came out for one particular school. They learned about hunger. They then went out and they planted, and then they harvested close to 300 pounds of strawberries. That makes for a great day for anybody. These kids learn about hunger, they do something about it, and it's immediate impact. Now, in addition, we're also looking to expose our youth to healthy eating and farming. And, one funny story that always pops into my mind is, it was a couple years ago when we were taking a young brownie troop through Hunterdon County, through the orchard, and we're like, well, here's a peach tree, here's an apple tree, here's a pear tree. And the little girl raises her hand, she goes, where's the broccoli tree? And we kind of had a laugh because we don't have broccoli trees here in New Jersey. And it kind of stuck with me because I thought, this young child grew up in Hunterdon County farmland, and she doesn't know where her food comes from. Then I thought, well, how about the inner city child? Fast forward to last year, where we had one particular child, and this is common, but he kind of sticks out in my mind, where he was in the field and he asked us, what is this? What am I picking? It's a string bean. And I felt like every single child in New Jersey should have access to string beans, to fresh fruits and vegetables. It shouldn't be a question of what is it, it should be a question of when they can get it. And so, we have fun with this when we're trying to introduce food to our youth. If a funny story, Jackie and Lena, I guess it's about a month or two ago, were out in Jersey City, and they met up with a community group, and they wanted to teach the kids about healthy eating. So of course, the logical thing to do would be blindfold the children, and then put a series of different vegetables in front of them. Would you believe beets were the most popular flavor, most popular produce that these kids wanted to eat? So for any of you parents who are having a problem feeding your kids, you blindfold them, just throw out a whole mix in front of them and you'll be fine. In addition, what we're trying to do is cultivate our youth to be a much more giving generation. We feel that if our youth are helping us plant and then maintain, and then down the road, when the produce is all ripe and ready to be picked, when they pick it, and then they, instead of consuming it and enjoying it in the traditional sense by eating it, their enjoyment is by giving it to someone else who needs it more. And to us, that's a huge, huge lesson. If we can build that into their DNA at an early age, they too will want to give up time to volunteer. They too will want to spend their Saturday evening supporting a nonprofit. That's our mission. That's part of our goal. And I know it's working. We all know it's working. Because we have a line of kids already this summer who want to intern. And there's one person who I don't want to, pick out of a crowd, but maybe I will actually. There's one particular student, Amanda Lambert. Is Amanda here? She's in the back. She's very humble. Amanda Lambert actually has cycled through the program for several years, and she's taking a liking to helping those in need. She actually wants to go into college to study philanthropy. So it's just one of many examples, but it's certainly a shining star with America's Grow a Row. And then I think, yeah, absolutely. This is your light. I'm going to brag for you a little bit. Amanda was actually competitively selected nationally for the Super Bowl Caring program. Very, very competitive program in which she helped represent this area and was able to donate thousands of dollars in support of nonprofits. So she's done a great job for a young kid, and we have a future for you, Amanda. The next thing we do is, of course, one of our mission points is the sustainability of agriculture. When you have so many volunteers cycling through your program, through farms, through farm markets, you're going to help the economy, you're going to help the local farmer, you're going to help preserve farmland, and so that's a major portion of our program, is really keeping the garden state alive in New Jersey. Now, in addition, this evening is about a theme, and the theme is seeds. Seeds of hope, seeds of gratitude, seeds of progress. And when I think of hope, the first thing that pops in my mind is an acronym, help other people eat. That's what we do. And I think about hope in areas, inner city areas that have food deserts, areas that have literally, based on the USDA, they define an area as having zero access to any healthy food choices. And what we're doing is we're penetrating these areas, we're getting in, and we're setting up free farm markets. We're literally, just like any other farm market, we have 5 to 10 different varieties all laid out. We've got Mrs. Jones who's coming down, she's got her recyclable bag from last week. We fill up her bag, and she goes down the end of the line, and the only difference is that there's no cashier. It's free. And that's because even if Mrs. Jones wanted to buy produce, she can't, because there are no supermarkets in these areas. She has no access regardless of the money that she would have to pay for it. But we don't stop there. We create relationships with the youth. We bust up youth from these inner city areas. We get them onto the farm, and we have them harvest for their families at night. And then whatever's left over, we encourage them to bring back to their families. And what's left over, or I should say their friends and their neighbors. So they have an opportunity to give back as well. It's a major portion of what we're trying to do.